waistline. We are going to go through the do's and the don'ts of shrinking your waistline. And this is coming from a mom of four and a retired RN, and I'm also certified in hormone coaching. So this is an area I specialize in. I help women really re-regulate their hormones, their nervous system, and their feminine energy. And specifically, the waistline is an area that I have really helped women, lots of different types of women, thousands, literally thousands and thousands of women up to this point. And I have gotten amazing results. So there's different types of bellies. You might have a mommy belly, like what I had. You've had multiple kids. You could have a hormone belly. You might have a cortisol belly. You might have a menopause or perimenopause belly, could be. It could be from insulin resistance, diabetes, PCOS, fibroids. All of those things matter. And today I'm going to break it down for you. This episode is going to help you to really, get more bang for your buck so you do not waste your time, especially if you're like me and the women that I coach, all the boss babes. Y'all are busy, right? Running businesses, running teams. You're busy working. You might be a stay-at-home mom, which is also like running a business. And you just have a lot going on and you don't want to waste your time. So everything that I talk about is backed by current research, current science. And one of my biggest superpowers for really coaching women, the reason why I've been able to help women that are menopause, perimenopause, postpartum, PCOS, high cortisol, the reason why I've been able to help them shrink their waistline, even if you hate the gym, it's okay, babe, I got you. The reason why is because I just have so much experience working with so many different types of women. And my approach has been very different than a lot of kind of the bro knowledge that you see online. No shade to anybody, but it's different. Like, I understand what it's like to have babies. I had 4 babies in 5 years. Okay. So, and I know what it's like to be a busy mama and, you want to shrink that waistline. And also, I've made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. And this is really what inspired me a few years ago to come on here and help you ladies. So, what's up? Okay. I see your guys' questions coming in. This is so good. I'm going to jump into the do's and the don'ts. Booster Barbie, I see you, girl. I haven't seen you in a minute. I know you've probably been busy. She's another busy mama. But okay, I'm going to jump into the do's and the don'ts, and then I'm going to answer all your ladies' questions. And yes, we can do this the more fun and easy way. Okay, let me adjust my mic. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, if I go like this, is the sound still okay if I'm like this? Then I can, use my hands. And yes, I have a blue tongue again because it's Wellness Wednesday. And so I had my methylene blue sublingually under my tongue instead of just ingesting it today. And, because I just wanted to be fun. Okay, so let's jump into it. We're going to focus on 3 main things and do's and don'ts for shrinking and really snatching that waistline. So and I'm going to say the number 3 point that I'm going to get to is going to be around the hormones. Okay, so the first one, we're going to talk about what exercises to do and to not to do. So this is a don't. Okay, this is a don't. Thanks, honey. This is a don't. Do not do crunchies and sit-ups. Do not do crunchies. Do not do sit-ups. Do not do those side bends, especially with weights, because that's going to thicken your waistline if you've had babies. Now, if you haven't had babies, it's a little bit different for you. But for most women who have experienced pregnancy and have had babies, you have something called rectus diastasis. It's very common, it's very normal, and that's when you have a bit of an abdomen separation. And you know that you have this because for some women, and this was me, you might have lost the weight, you might have lost your baby weight, but your belly still sticks out. Okay, mine doesn't anymore, but if you notice that your belly still sticks out, even though you've lost the fat, chances are you have a bit of a rectus diastasis separation, a bulge. And we have this muscle, transverse abdominal muscle, that wraps around our waistline like a corset for women. We naturally have this. And it's really important for our back, it's important for our core, and it's what keeps our tummy nice and flat. When you are pregnant or you've gone through multiple pregnancies like what I went through, those muscles separate, which is normal. We need that to grow the baby. And after you have the baby, the muscles don't always go back together. Now, if you've had multiple babies, like what I did, and you did not know this, like myself, and then you go and you start doing crunchies and sit-ups and side bends, and you're squatting, you're lifting all this weight, you're doing the plank, you're doing all the stuff that you're seeing fitness influencers share online, you're actually going to cause those abdomen muscles to separate more if it's not healed. And what happens is the more you do, the more it bulges out. And that's a frustrating thing. And so because I had my babies years ago, 14 years ago. My oldest is 14. Okay. So I had babies a long, long time ago. I did not know any of this stuff. And I was doing crunchies and sit-ups like a crazy lady after all my babies, thinking that was going to shrink my tummy. And I just gave myself a horrible, horrible rectus diastasis separation. So that wasn't good. It got to the point where after my fourth baby, I didn't know it at the time, but I developed a hernia, an umbilical hernia, and I had this pain in my abdomen, and I was like, "Okay, what is this?" And I finally went to the doctor, and this is after my first husband had passed away. He passed away from colon cancer, and so I hadn't been to the doctor in years because I was busy taking care of him. So I finally was like, okay, I got to go to the doctor. I got to take care of myself. So I go to the doctor and I'm like, I have a bit of a pain here. And she's like, you have a major, major rectus diastasis separation and you have a major umbilical hernia. So that's what happened with me. And she's like, you need to get surgery. And so I did not want to get surgery at all. But she's like, you got to, right? You have to address that. It was because with rectus diastasis, that abdomen gap that most women have after babies, you can heal that. In most cases, you can heal that with physiotherapy and some of the stuff that I'm going to talk to you about today. You can close that gap. But if it's so wide and you have an umbilical hernia, then there's a good possibility you need to get a surgical repair. So I do encourage you to go get checked out by your doctor. It's not something you want to leave alone because it just gets worse. It doesn't get better. So anyway, so I ended up having surgery. I had I consider major surgery, but it was like I had my entire abdomen sewn back together. And I was already really tiny back then, just from stress, and I was waist training back then too. So I was really, really tiny, so I didn't have any fat there. But they basically sewed my belly all the way back together. And then after that, I was like, okay, I got to rehab my abs. I got to rehab my abdomen. And so what I learned, what's actually way better for a woman to do, for a mom, is something that bodybuilders do, and that's stomach vacuuming. And it's so easy, and it's like it's the best stomach flattening exercise you can do as a woman. Guys do it too, bodybuilders do it too. When they they practice holding and like they're posing, those are stomach vacuums. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was the one that like popularized it. But anyway, so you're not going to do any sort of crunchies, any sort of sit-ups, anything that is causing your abdomen to bulge out. We don't want to put any pressure on that. We want to suck in, literally, with your abdomen. Now, if you're not sure what stomach vacuums are, I have a whole program. It's in all my programs in the Feminine Energy Academy where I teach you how to do stomach vacuums. The ladies love it because you can do it at home. You can do it in bed. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it lying down, sitting, standing, whatever. But it's going to help shrink your waistline so, so much. The other thing I don't want you to do anymore, if you really want to shrink and snatch your waistline, is those side bends, okay, with the weights that you see people do. That's going to thicken your waist. I want you to think logically for a second. Now, some guys do it because they want to get big and strong. Totally, go for it. But if you want to shrink your waistline, you don't want to do side bends and you don't want to do it with weights, because just logically thinking, you're going to build muscle here. And when you build more muscle here, you're going to get wider. This is why you'll see some women bodybuilders who are, and maybe they're not bodybuilders, but they lift a lot of weights. They're straight, right? And it's because their core is really thick from all the weights that they've been lifting, and even like squatting and doing those types of exercises. Look, think of CrossFitters. They're a perfect example. And CrossFitters, they're super strong. I have so much respect for them. I love watching them. But their body shape is very straight because their core is so thick, because they have to be able to support all that weight. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying if you don't want that look, then don't do the side bends. And if you are going to lift heavy, like if you're going to squat, wear a waist trainer. Wear a waist trainer. And for my mamas especially, wear a waist trainer. And what that's going to do is it's going to support your core if you're lifting heavy weights and you're squatting. I am a big fan of lifting weights. That's going to help you snatch that waistline, ladies. It's going to help you age in reverse. It's going to help you just be so young and healthy and fit, and really, spike that fat burning metabolism. So I'm all for the weights. I lift weights. You definitely want to be resistance training. Uh, that's not what today is about. But what I wanted to highlight is what you're doing when it comes to your core. Okay, so for myself, all I've done and continue to do, and I teach my ladies to do in our weight loss fat burning programs and body reshaping programs in the Feminine Energy Academy, all we do is the stomach vacuums. Okay, we do obviously other exercises, but the stomach vacuums is the key thing that will help you literally shrink inches off of your waist. And you can do it at home. You don't even have to go to the gym. Okay. Okay, so you're going to wear a waist trainer too also. Number 2 thing, don'ts. I don't want you counting calories anymore. Yes, I said it. I don't want you obsessing about counting calories and dieting and doing all the stuff that's stressing you out that you hate doing because you're just not going to stick to it anyway. What I want you to focus on is protein. Protein, protein, protein. If you only remember this next to, what I was just talking about with the exercises, this is it. And that is, you want, as a woman, you ideally want to be getting 1 gram of protein in per 1 pound of your ideal weight. So if your ideal weight is 140 pounds, and right now you're 160 pounds, you want to try to get in. I know you're probably not going to get 140 grams of protein in. I already know that. Try to get 120 in. That's usually, that's my goal, is around 120. What I coach my ladies, try to get, if you can get around that, that's great. If you're not even close to that, 100 grams. 100 grams protein, bare minimum. And especially when you're breaking your fast in the morning, that's the most important time. You want to be stacking your plate with protein, because what it's going to do, ladies, is it's going to prevent the blood sugar spikes and the insulin spikes for the rest of the day. So if you struggle with brain fog later on in the day, you get tired, you feel low energy, you feel fatigued, you crave a lot of sugars, it's your blood sugar. Okay, that's your blood sugar and your insulin. What's happening is when you have, like say granola and fruit for breakfast because you think that that's really healthy, you spike your blood sugar. So your blood sugar is going up, then your insulin level is going up, and then it crashes. And that's what's causing the cravings. That's what's causing the brain fog all day long. So we're not going to do that. And then because also, if you're trying to burn fat and you have all this insulin you just released, you're in fat storage mode. You're not in fat burning mode. And you want your body to be in fat burning mode. Okay. So one of the simplest things you can do is break your fast with protein. And even your meals throughout the day, I want you to focus on protein. And you want to get at least 30 grams of protein in every time you eat. 30 grams of protein every time you eat is going to stimulate something called muscle protein synthesis. That's what's going to help keep the muscle on your body. You're not going to turn into the Hulk. I promise you that. Okay, ladies, don't worry about that. But that's what's going to keep your skin, your body nice and tight. Okay, and going to help with the waistline. It's going to help skyrocket your metabolism. It's going to help you feel full. It's good for your hair, your skin, your nails. It's going to help you feel so good. It's going to help you with your mental focus, help you with your energy levels. It's just all wins for you. Muscle is your longevity muscle, okay? And so you want to keep muscle in your body, and I want you to think protein to really support that muscle, to really support your blood sugar, which also, goes to the intermittent fasting. So you're really focusing on protein. You're not focusing on counting calories because, there's people that are eating crap food, not eating a whole lot of calories. And yeah, you might lose weight, but your skin's to be saggy. Your metabolism's not going to be strong. You could be in a calorie deficit and just eat French fries, right? So I'm talking to the women, especially over 40-year-olds like me, and women that have had babies, women that are perimenopause, menopause, or approaching that age group. We have to eat completely different. You want to look amazing forever, ladies. You want to be in a fat burning state forever, like what I teach our ladies to do in the Feminine Energy Academy, where I teach them how to stay biologically in your 20s for a very long time. That's what I teach my ladies how to do. We need to focus on protein. And then the other thing is we got to focus on intermittent fasting. So a couple of do's and don'ts with intermittent fasting. And what's up? I see my ladies. Hey, ladies, what's up? I'm going to get to your questions in a second. Let me know in the comments, hearts, likes, if you are enjoying this so far. Let me know if you're liking this content. Normally, I'm on here with Coach B. We're talking about feminine energy and dating. We actually had another engagement. Hey, we had another engagement last night. We've had 2 engagements and 2 marriages happen this month alone in the Feminine Energy Academy, which is amazing. I love it. I love what God is doing with his daughters. I love what God is doing with his women. He's, all these women are getting healthy and fit and mentally, physically, spiritually. They're attracting their husbands. They're aging in reverse, all of that. And then, of course, on Wednesdays now, I'm just back doing my Wellness Wednesdays because, when you look good and when you feel good as a woman, you just attract better, right? So this is why we're doing this, ladies. Okay. Anyway, going back to intermittent fasting, do's and don'ts for intermittent fasting. So one thing that's really important when you're fasting in the morning, when you're in a fasted state. So what that means is you haven't had anything to spike your blood sugar or your insulin. It's really important to know, okay? So we want to stay in that state at the beginning because your body is using fat for fuel. So it's if you got stored belly fat, visceral belly fat here and other places in your body, but especially in your belly, it's going to use this for energy. Okay. So when you are intermittent fasting, first thing in the morning, here's some do's and don'ts. Okay. So do's, you can have coffee, you can have tea, you can have unimate tea. It's my favorite. Okay. You can have tea, you can have water, you can drink water, you can have a lemon, like a little bit of lemon water. That's about it. Okay. No creams, no sugars, no collagen, no amino acids. I know that's really controversial. You're only going to have a little bit of a insulin response with collagen and amino acid, but you are going to have a bit of an insulin response. Now, there's some doctors like Dr. Jason Fung, who I totally respect so much. He was like one of the main doctors that really popularized intermittent fasting. He even says it's totally fine to have a little bit of milk, a little bit of cream in your coffee. Okay, you can if you want, but if you are not getting the results that you want, this is what I always tell all my ladies that I'm coaching. If what you're doing is not working, then it's time to switch it up. If you can try it And then if you are getting results, great, you can still do that. But if you're not getting the results you want, then it's an invitation to switch it up. And in my experience, this is the most effective way to intermittent fast. Okay. But of course, once again, it's different for everybody. In my experience, like with myself and when I teach my ladies, we have the unimate tea because it actually is going to help with that fasting and fat burning process, where it's going to help with your appetite. You're going to be burning more fat. You're going to have more energy. It's going to boost your mood. You have crazy, amazing mental focus during that time as well. Okay. And so that's really important. Now, if you have to work out and you're a woman and you are lifting weights, it's actually a better idea to eat earlier in the day, break your fast early, and then just end your fast early later on in the day. And especially for women, because we got to consider our hormones. And most of the information, it's getting better now. It was not good before, where most of the information, most of the studies around intermittent fasting and burning fat had to do with men. And men just were hormonally completely different. So you cannot compare yourself to a man. You cannot fast like a man. You got to fast like a woman. Okay. We got to protect our hormones. And if you put too much stress on your body as a woman, you're going to have the opposite effect. You're going to spike your cortisol and you're going to end up retaining water and you're going to get puffy. You're going to get puffy. So if you find, ladies, I've seen this before with women, where you are fasting, you're exercising, you're eating really well, but you feel like you're gaining weight, you feel puffy, maybe your face is getting puffy, those are all signs of high cortisol. So that means that you're putting too much stress on your body. This is why I also have a 90-day cortisol detox program where I teach you how to fast differently to restabilize your cortisol levels, because you're just going to have the opposite effect. So if you do have high cortisol, you don't want to be fasting for longer than 12 hours. Okay. You want to be really having your protein with all your meals, of course, but especially in the morning and especially before you work out. Now, for my ladies that are really stabilizing your hormones and you work out in the morning, you can, and maybe not so much lifting weights, but you do like more cardio, you can do it fasted. Definitely you can do it fasted. Your body can handle it. If you're not feeling stressed, you're feeling good, you're not feeling fatigued, you're able to keep muscle on your body, which is what I care about the most, then go ahead, you can work out fasted. But for most women, we do struggle with working out fasted, like getting a hard workout in. Okay, so really, really, really listen to your body and don't just follow what you see people do online. And unfortunately, a lot of fitness trainers are not educated in the area of hormones. They're amazing when it comes to, learning how the technique of bodybuilding and working out. Like, I think it's so great to get a trainer. I do encourage you to get a trainer so they can teach you how to lift weights properly. But a lot of them are just not educated when it comes to hormones. And a lot of times they'll train men and women the same, and men and women just cannot train the same. Just hormonally, we're just so different. And then especially, exercises, if you've had a baby, like I was talking about with my point one, and, especially if women, your perimenopause, menopause age, we want you training hard, but you still need to be really, really mindful of your hormones. Okay. So during your eating window, you are eating what to do if you're intermittent fasting. During your eating window, you want to be eating foods and herbs that are really, really nourishing for your hormones. What you're not going to do is just eat whatever, because I'm intermittent fasting. Now, research has shown that you can intermittent fast, and even if you did not change your diet at all, but the only thing you did was do a time restriction with when you're eating, that in itself, you will have huge benefits for fat loss, for belly fat loss, for your insulin, for your, just for your regulating your blood sugar. You will see some difference there. But you want to take it to the next level, right? Like, we're all about optimizing and getting the best results in the shortest amount of time, right, ladies? So if that is you, then you really want to make sure that during your eating window, you are eating hormone friendly foods, foods that are thermogenic. Those are foods that are supporting and boosting your hormones, okay? Really, really important. Another thing you're doing is making sure you're drinking water, of course. And then you're going to try to also eat earlier and finish earlier. That's another do. Try not to eat late at night. If you have to, it's better than nothing. If you're one of those people, you are out late and maybe you're eating, you're drinking, you can still intermittent fast, okay? That's what I love about intermittent fasting, is that it is so, so flexible for your schedule. And even if you're traveling around and you're eating out a lot and you're not able to maybe make your own meals or whatever the situation is, intermittent fasting is amazing. It's like it truly is the cheat code for helping your snatch your waistline and helping you with fat loss and belly fat loss. Another don't with intermittent fasting, ladies, is you don't want to be snacking during your eating window. So sometimes women will, especially moms, will eat our kids' leftovers, right? Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. This is a habit I had to break, was eating my kids' leftovers. So you're not going to be doing that anymore. You're not going to be, oh, let me just have a grape here and a cracker here and a bite of this and a bite of that. No, you're going to have actual meals in your eating window, and you're going to try to go about 4 hours, if you can, in between your meals. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to give your body a chance to be in that fat burning state. Every time you eat, even if you have a couple of grapes or you have an apple, okay, what happens is you're still going to have a blood sugar response and an insulin response, and then you take your body out of fat burning mode. Now, you're not starving yourself, because that's a big don't. We're absolutely not starving ourselves, because your hormones will hate you for it and will fight back, and you won't be able to hold muscle. Then you'll turn saggy and have a horrible metabolism. So don't starve yourself, okay? But when you're eating, eat a proper meal, build it around the protein, and then try to wait a few hours in between from that to your next meal, okay? So for example, this morning, I had eggs, and I broke my fast earlier today because I stopped eating earlier yesterday. And so I just had eggs. I had scrambled eggs, and I had some ground beef. It was probably about 45 grams of protein is what I had this morning. I didn't have any carbs, but I feel amazing. I feel absolutely amazing. I had my unimate tea first thing this morning. I'm sipping on my ionized water, and I'm feeling amazing. Had my methylene blue, had my supplements. And yeah, I feel amazing, right? So what else do I want to tell you? Okay, that's the main things for that. And then I see you guys have questions, and I will get to that in a second. You guys liking this so far? Let me know. And then last but not least, for you ladies, so important, this is a big do, is you are going to focus on your hormones. Focus on your hormones. If you are struggling with your waistline as a woman, okay, and you've been trying everything, it's your hormones. Most likely it's your hormones. Now, it could be the insulin. So a sign of insulin resistance is when you start accumulating that fat in the belly area. Your waistline is more than half the length of your height. So I talked about this a few weeks ago, where you want to measure your waistline, ladies or guys. You want to measure your waistline, okay? And then measure your height. Your waistline needs to be under 50% of your height. So for example, my waistline is 25 inches. And my height, I'm 5'7", which is 67 inches. So when you divide that, when you divide 25 by 67, I think it works out to be like 37% or something like that. So my waist is about 37% of my height. Okay, my husband, who I love so much and is amazing and is on this amazing glow up health journey as well, is getting all fit. His waistline is about, I think it's like 60% or 50 something percent of his height, maybe like 55% of his height. So our goal, what we're working on with him right now, is getting his waistline under that 50% mark. And so not only is it, because you want to look good, But most importantly, this is what's going to keep you metabolically healthy as a woman or a man. This is what's going to help you live long. This is what's going to help prevent the major killers, cancers, Alzheimer's, heart disease, the strokes, the diabetes that so many people have. That's your measuring stick. More than your weight, more than your BMI, it's your waistline. It's your waistline. Okay, so important. So also for my ladies, so we talked about insulin, and how you can help that by working out, by intermittent fasting, having lots of protein. That's going to help you. We talked about cortisol. So and see, all these hormones work together. So if you have, we talked about the signs of having cortisol belly, you're puffy, you've been trying to work out, you're not losing the weight, your face might be puffy, you're stressed, you're anxious, you're tired, you're having you have trouble sleeping at night. Those are all signs of cortisol belly. Okay. Now, the other thing for my ladies, if you are perimenopause, menopause age, and perimenopause is about the 10-year mark before menopause. Now, that is different for everybody, but for the average woman, she will start to experience perimenopause symptoms in her late 30s. Okay, that's just an average. It's not everybody, but it's a lot of women. And if you're not sure, if you're experiencing some perimenopause symptoms, or if you're in perimenopause, of course, I have a free assessment for you, for the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. You can check that out. And I have a 90-day perimenopause weight loss program in there as well. But just to give you some signs, if you just don't have the energy like you used to have, you just get tired easier. You notice you're more anxious than you used to be maybe a few years ago. You maybe feel more fatigued, you have more brain fog. And then the biggest symptom that women hate is you're starting to accumulate weight in your belly area. And you never did before. So maybe you're not eating different, you're not doing anything different, but you're starting to accumulate weight in your belly and you're in the 40-year-old mark or older, then it's a very good probability. It's because your estrogen levels are going down, your progesterone levels are going down, and your testosterone levels are going down. So for you, my loves, what I really encourage is, first of all, doing the other stuff that I teach. Okay, there's a lot of stuff you can do naturally. And then I would encourage you to also get your hormones checked and see if you are a good candidate to get bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. So that's what's going to really, really help you with that belly fat as well, if you're doing the other stuff that I teach. If you just go on hormone replacement therapy and you don't do anything else, no, your waist is not going to shrink. It might shrink a little bit, but not really. You got to do the other stuff that we're talking about, because that's what's going to make the biggest difference. Okay. So, and then of course, adaptogens. I talk about adaptogens all the time. Things like ashwagandha. Those are going to help with the stress levels. Those are going to help, with the cortisol stress. It's really going to help with that. And the reason why you want to care as a woman about your estrogen specifically, it's your fountain of youth. That's what's going to keep your skin feeling amazing, your body feeling amazing. It's going to prevent cancers and diseases and heart disease and Alzheimer's. It's going to keep your bones strong. It's going to help you keep muscle on your body. But most importantly is when your estrogen levels have tanked, it creates insulin resistance in the body, meaning that your body is just not using insulin and glucose the way it used to. And that's what's causing all that visceral fat, that belly fat. That's what's causing the elevated triglycerides, the elevated cholesterol. You start having fatty liver issues if your liver enzymes are elevated. These are all related, babe. And the reason why I talk about this on this channel is because if you throw on top of that all the trauma you haven't healed, the nervous system that's dysregulated, it just exacerbates all of this stuff. So if you feel like weight and losing weight has been an uphill battle for you, it's likely because of all these different factors that you have not addressed. And of course, I make it really fun and easy. This is, your wake up call. You get to look good. You get to feel good. You get to age in reverse. But you just have to decide that you are worthy for that. Okay. My voice is sounding so raspy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me get to your questions here. Let me know, was that helpful? Um, okay. Speaking of Alzheimer's, do you feel that less estrogen could be a connection? It's 1000% a connection. And this is not my opinion. This is the latest research where there was just a recent study that was done, a retrospective study that was done where they looked at 120 million women, and they looked at women who were on not just hormone replacement, because we're not talking about birth control, we're not talking about synthetic hormones, we're talking about bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Okay, that's the body's the body recognizes that it's natural form of hormone replacement. But anyway, they looked at 120 women, 120 million women, not 120 million women in this study. And they found that the women that started bioidentical hormone replacement therapy early, like when they first started perimenopause, before menopause, they had a 60% reduction in risk of cancer, breast cancer, of Alzheimer's, and of heart disease. That's huge. And then women that started bioidentical hormone replacement therapy in menopause also had a reduced risk of developing breast cancer and Alzheimer's and heart disease, like strokes and stuff like that. Okay, so it is so important. The reason why you want to care about this, ladies, is because we have estrogen receptors all throughout our body. And when our estrogen levels tank, then it's like having open parking stalls in the brain. And then what happens is, someone's looking at me right now. And then what happens is it causes those areas to start to shrink, to atrophy. So the brain starts to shrink. Bones start to shrink. The vagina starts, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here. Vagina starts to shrink. Muscles start to shrink. Everything just shrinks. That's why like those little old ladies, they're like turn into like little old, like prunes. They're just shrinking. Their muscles shrink, their brains shrink, everything just starts shrinking. The organs are shrinking. Okay, so we don't want that. And then on top of it, you become insulin resistant. And Alzheimer's is now considered type 3 diabetes. Alzheimer's is now considered type 3 diabetes. It's diabetes of your brain from too much blood sugar, too much glucose. It's causing inflammation. And then the other thing with estrogen is when your estrogen levels go down estrogen is a powerful anti-inflammatory. So that now you got all this inflammation in the body, right? And what we call inflammaging. I have this big oxygen tank behind me that we have in our home. We have a wellness center in our home that we built because my husband's amazing like that. And it's to help with the inflammaging. It's to help lower the inflammation in the body. But the things that I was talking about today, even though it's, we want to shrink our waistline, it's going to help you with those other things. It's going to help you with the inflammaging. It's going to help you with your it's going to help you with your insulin. It's going to help you with the fat loss. It's going to help you not get Alzheimer's, the type 3 diabetes in the brain. It's for all of that. It's all related to each other. So yeah, really good question. Okay, I saw there was another question here. Okay, do you have to have fruits to burn belly fat? Fruits do not burn belly fat. Fruits do not burn belly fat. Fruits will spike your blood sugar. Okay, so what's going to burn belly fat is the stuff that I talked about today. So it's going to be intermittent fasting. So you want to go either 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours as a woman in a fasted state. Men can go a little bit longer, okay, because you're built hormonally different. So you can go a little bit longer, but you want to go 12 to 16 hours fasted. And then during your eating window, around 8 hours, maybe a little bit longer, you're going to eat foods that are really high in protein. Now, yes, you can have a little bit of fruit, a little bit, maybe once, and you have it with your protein. You want to have some healthy fats like avocados, olive oils, nuts, seeds. Those are going to be really good for you as well. You want to basically just want to eat real food. I know it's like mind blowing, but if you focus on eating real food, that's what's going to help. But if you just eat a whole bunch of fruit, you're just going to spike your blood sugar, and then you're going to just store it as fat. Really good questions, though. Wow, so many women have Alzheimer's. Yes, 2/3 of women, sorry, I should say this, 2/3 of people who have Alzheimer's are women currently. 2/3 of all people who have Alzheimer's are women. Why? Because they don't have that estrogen to protect their brains. This is why you ladies, you want to have that estrogen, okay? Let's see. So somebody's asking, are there alternatives recommended in the FEA to HRT? Yes. So I have a couple different things. I have multiple programs in the FEA. I have a 90-day perimenopause weight loss program. We don't even discuss HRT in that. I talk about adaptogens. I teach you how to intermittent fast. We work on your gut health. We work on the stomach exercises that I teach you. We work on nervous system re-regulation. It's foundational. So that's what we focus on there. And then I just introduced another program in the Feminine Energy Academy. It's called my longevity program. And what I'm doing is I'm helping you ladies, specifically because it's only for women, literally age in reverse. So in that program, we're focusing on lots of different things. I'm like literally just today was just like a drop in the bucket, but we're talking about intermittent fasting. We're talking about your mitochondrial health. We're talking about your hormones. We're talking about how to exercise differently. I put a new program in there for you that's going to support your hormones. I do talk about different options for you. So we talk about things like GLP-1s as an option, or the Unicity Feel Great system to, what I'm on. We talk about the adaptogens. We talk about, there's different peptides you can take to help support a woman's hormones. These are things that I'm taking currently. And I just got my hormones tested yesterday. I'm going to be getting my results back in the next few days, so I'll share those as well. So I'm all about options. I'm not about you have to do things one certain way. I'm all about teaching you ladies all the different options you have. And my goal is to make it really easy and fun for you, doing it the feminine energy way. And then you do what's best for you. You habit stack the way that fits your lifestyle. Okay? So yes. And it's all backed by science, of course. And also, let me just let you know that right now, if you are new, you can try the Feminine Energy Academy for free, because you get a free trial. So you can jump in there. And also, I have to let you know that the price is going up in the Feminine Energy Academy. If you are already in there, you're already locked in at that price. It's never going to go up for you. As long as you stay in the FEA, the price will never go up for you, but it is going up for the new people. If you don't sign up now, down the road, it's going up. So if you're even thinking about trying it out, now is probably the best time to try it out, because you get to try it out for free. You can go and check out all my weight loss programs, my hormone programs, my getting snatched programs. You get access to all of our dating for marriage programs, feminine energy, inner healing, nervous system healing programs. If you have PCOS, fibroids, anything like that, menopause, perimenopause, I specialize in all of those things. And this is why it's a Feminine Energy Academy, because there's so many different programs that you have access to all of it. So if you're even thinking about it, now is the time to jump in, test it out, make sure it resonates with you, and you can do that for free. You can binge watch it for free. And then, down the road, the price is going to go up, but it won't affect you if you sign up today. Okay. Okay. And then, yes, Isabella, she's in our Feminine Energy Academy. She's talking about how we're doing a 90-day health journey right now. Yes. So another thing that we do that I do for my ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy is I run 90-day glow up challenges. And our women have seen amazing results where they are glowing up. They are losing fat, their bodies are changing, their waistlines are shrinking. They're getting rid of their hot flashes, they're getting rid of their bloating, they're shrinking their fibroids, they're reversing PCOS. Yes, I've had multiple women reverse PCOS. They're reversing their cortisol, high cortisol levels. They're reversing cortisol belly. I've reversed multiple women's cortisols naturally, which will just help you look and feel amazing. And yeah, there's different programs that are in there that you have access to, and you just do what resonates with you. But I do daily check-ins with you ladies. So that's what makes it different is I do daily check-ins. I help you. I have all the foods that I was talking about, the fat burning foods, the hormone boosting foods. You have all of it. You have access to all of it. You don't need a gym. You don't need to count calories. You don't have to do any of that. We actually do a lot of nervous system healing. We do a lot of emotional release. If you've been holding on to a lot of emotion and it's stuck in the body, that's what manifests into things. That's what can manifest into things like different health issues and gut issues. I've seen it all the time. And this is why I also have such great success with our ladies, is because we work on really re-regulating your nervous system, helping you with that inner healing. And then we're also doing, the science-based practical things like intermittent fasting, and stomach vacuumings, for example. Okay. I need to get a measuring tape for my waist. Yes. Definitely need to do that. Are beans a good source of protein? Yes, beans are a great source of protein. Beans are great for you. Where people run into problems with beans is if you are loading them with like cheese and sauces, then that's what's not going to be good for you. And then if your gut health isn't healthy, your gut microbiome isn't healthy, you might have a lot of indigestion and bloating. And we don't want indigestion, we don't want bloating, because that's all signs of inflammation in the gut and in the body. And your gut is a major, major component, probably the biggest component for your immune system. So fighting off diseases and all those things in the body, and you need it for your hormones. So we don't want the gut to be inflamed or bloated. So that's one thing I would say about that. Okay. Why is your tongue blue? Oh, someone already answered methylene blue. Yes, you got that. And then I saw another question up here. Okay, what about zero sugar pre-workout beverages while intermittent fasting? You can have that, a sugar-free pre-workout, but you are gonna slightly break your fast. You are gonna have a slight insulin response. It's not like you're gonna have like no insulin response. The only thing where you will not have any insulin response is if you're having a tea black, like a yerba mate tea, but I drink black with no sugar, or coffee black. So sometimes people will have that as their pre-workout. Now, if you really need your pre-workout before you work out, then I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially if you're doing everything else that we're talking about. Just make sure you're not like fatigued, and you want to be able to have a good workout in. You don't want to just fast just to fast and then go to the gym and like sit on the machines because your energy is so low and you can't really like do a whole lot, or you're just walking on a treadmill. I guess it's better than nothing, but you're not really getting those anti-aging fat burning benefits that you would if you had a more intense workout. Okay, so someone is asking how long would it be in the Feminine Energy Academy, as I'm thinking of recommending it to someone. The great thing about the Feminine Energy Academy is there's no contracts. You're not obligated to do anything. You can come in, you can literally binge watch stuff for free, see if it's a good fit for you, and you can cancel anytime. That's the great thing about it. We've had women come and go. They always come back, you know. But yeah, there's no contracts or anything. Cannot recommend it enough. I love it. Okay, Rose is like, I'm 69 years old and I really need help. Well, girl, I got you. We have a lot of women in their 60s right now in the Feminine Energy Academy who look so good and are rotationally dating. Okay. Literally, they look like 40-year-olds because they're doing the stuff that we teach. Okay. Did I get all the questions? I think so, unless I missed some. I'm sorry if I missed. So if I missed any of your questions, because there's like a whole bunch here, I think I got most of them. Um, Okay. Does sleep include fasting time? Yes. Your sleep includes your fasting time, which is why you want to intermittent fast during that time period. So it's the time that you stop eating at night until the next morning. So during the night, and this is a really good question because at night, when you're in that fasted state, your body, your hormones are re-regulating, your cells are healing, and your human growth hormone is really high. And your human growth hormone is your anti-aging hormone. That's a hormone that is helping you look and feel young. That's a hormone that is burning fat. That's a hormone that is helping you look younger. It's like healing your skin cells and just repairing things in your body and boosting your immune system and fighting off sicknesses. Really important. Also, your cortisol levels and your insulin levels, all those things are re-regulating at nighttime. So it's really, really important that you're having good sleep, of course, because if you're not sleeping properly, that's also going to affect your hormones directly. And then also, that's why you do want to do that. You want to intermittent fast because it's going to boost your human growth hormone, even during the day. I would really love to join the FEA, but I don't know when the school is open, speaking from Nigeria. We have a lot of women from Africa in the Feminine Energy Academy right now. So you can be in Africa, you can be in Nigeria and join the Feminine Energy Academy as long as you are a woman, as long as you're a woman. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, we've had women in the Feminine Energy Academy get engaged and married from Africa, by the way. We have women all over Europe. We have women from Canada. We have women from all over the US, from the Caribbean, because we do, all the teaching around dating and relationships and how to meet people online. We do all of that. But we also help you with your glow up in the meantime. Uh-huh. Jessica says, great tips. Jessica's in the FEA, I believe. Okay. Jazzy Patty says, and I think Jazzy Patty's in the Feminine Energy Academy as well. What about if you have thyroid issues? I love to fast, but my MD says that I need to eat all the time. It's driving me crazy. Jazz. Okay. Yes. Okay. So if you have like thyroid issues, you need to be a little bit more careful. You can still intermittent fast, but you don't want to be putting too much stress on your body. Jazz, I believe you're in the Feminine Energy Academy. Can you private message me in there, and then I can help you a little bit more with the thyroid and the intermittent fasting. So just message me once you're in there. Okay. What about estrogen patches? Yes. So when I'm talking about bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, I'm talking about the estradiol. That's a specific type of estrogen, the one that the body actually recognizes. It's like a natural form, and it's actually fairly cheap form of the estrogen. And the best way to absorb it, what's the most bioavailable way to absorb it, is through a patch. You can also take it vaginally as well, locally, to help women, that have different issues in perimenopause, menopause. When their estrogen levels go down, you can take it vaginally, but you can also, if you want to take it systemically to help with the whole body and have the systemic benefits of having estrogen in the body, which will help, with your metabolism, your blood sugar, your insulin, protecting you against Alzheimer's, protecting your bones against osteoporosis, protecting your cardiovascular system against stroke and heart disease, heart attacks, and protecting your body against diabetes, breast cancer, all of that. You need to have systemic estrogen levels and increasing your estrogen levels. And then the best form of that that's well researched is the estradiol. and you can take it transdermally, like a patch form. Oh, Bonnie from Chicago. Hey, girl. How are you doing, Bonnie? Bonnie from Chicago. Thanks for answering. You're so welcome. Okay. Okay, what's another great source for improving gut health? The best thing that I know for improving your gut health, hands down, backed by so much science, so much research. This is what I take, and this is what I have my husband on, Coach B, and I have my family on, and that's the Unicity Feel Great system. Just try it for 90 days. 90 days. Give yourself 3 months. It's going to help the thyroid. It's going to help your gut health. It's going to help with inflammation. It's going to help with your blood sugar. It's going to help you to fast longer. So many people have lost so much weight on it. It's going to help with, did I already say inflammation? Inflammation in the gut, help with digestion. It works so well systemically on so many different things in the body. But that would be my biggest thing. And then also, I just added in the Feminine Energy Academy a whole gut health optimization section in the longevity program. So I just released a brand new program for the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, helping you look and feel in your 20s. Okay, and one of those pillars of health is gut optimization. And in there, I give you free hacks, free biohacks on how to optimize your gut health. And then I give you low cost and medium cost biohacks for your gut health. So even if it's something simple like apple cider vinegar, there's so many different things you can do. Kombucha is okay, but kombucha is full of sugar. That's not what's going to fix your gut. Drinking kombucha is not going to fix your gut. I'll tell you that right now. If anything, you're probably just increasing sugar and fat in your body. Would estrogen help my mom at 92 years old? Yes, it would. I mean, I'm not her doctor. I can't give like medical advice on here, but it is bioidentical hormone replacement is something a woman can have for the rest of her life, because the bioidentical version is the natural version. It's the version that her body actually recognizes, and it's going to help. It helps with the energy, and once again, it helps with all the protection, helps the inflammation, joint pain, just cognitively helping her think better, and preventing the Alzheimer's. Oh, hey Figgy, I'm just seeing you now. I was going to try the Feel Great system. However, it has too much coffee form or too much caffeine. Okay. How much caffeine are you able to have? Because it has just a tiny little amount of caffeine. The other thing you can do is just have a half a pack of the Unicity. You don't have to have the full pack. Okay. All right, ladies, I am done. Coach B is going to be jumping into the, are you going the feminine energy or the dating for marriage community? I can't remember. Okay, Coach B is going to be jumping into the Feminine Energy Academy right now as soon as I log off of here, and he's going to be answering your at what time? 12:30. At 12:30. Oh yeah, in like 5 minutes. Okay, so Coach B is going to be in there in about 5 minutes answering all your ladies' questions around relationships, around how men think. So, I mean, now is the perfect time to be jumping in, ladies, okay? And when you do jump in, if you're new, I want you to private message me. Tell me exactly why you're in there. Tell me what your goals are, whether it's body and hormone related, whether it's dating and marriage related or inner healing related. You just let me know so I can get you started, because I have so many programs in there that you have access to. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's like literally a personal development program on steroids, but the feminine energy way. And so I want to help you get results really quickly. So you let me know what you're in there for, what you need help with, and then I can help you get started. And then Coach B will be there as well to answer your guys' questions. Okay? Love you, ladies.